let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. Go. 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Off and running on the first official day of fall, I believe it is. If you are listening on the audio stream at therushladio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for dialing us in. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Give this video a like. And, of course, you can leave your comments in the comments section and follow us on our other social media channels. We're everywhere, is like we like to say. And speaking of everywhere, and back again is the world traveler, Ross Peterson. What's going on, buddy? Not fishing today. Do you have that fishing? I watch you, and we were sitting here talking, and I wish I had your passion about getting on a boat. I wish I had your passion about, casting a line. I just don't. But I do take great pleasure in seeing your excitement. So I'm not envious. I'm not jealous. I'm actually happy for you as I sit and go, God, I couldn't do that. But it does to see the joy in your face makes me really happy.
Fishing is one of those things that, I guess we all have a passion or something that we love that somebody in our life is like, oh, okay, well, not for me. And it's weird when you're out there, and I'm lucky enough that I found my friends that also love it, and we can do it all day long and have fun and laugh and catch fish and not catch fish. We've done it enough now that the catching fish is very much the icing on the cake. Watching people catch fish that haven't caught fish, watching people enjoy that place that I love so much, that it's just awesome, man. I love going up there. I love the people up on that island. Everything about it. I'm so blessed I got to do that twice this year. The fact that this second trip popped up in a moment, we were able to pull this off, was just butter, man. It was freaking awesome. And then Saturday could not have ended any better. So there is this thing, Travis, whenever you're on a trip like that, it's this fisherman's hope, man. It's that last cast. You're out there for 5 days, or in this case 3 days, fishing, right? And you're catching the same fish over and over, but then it's the last day, you're winding down, and the guide says, 2-minute warning. Tournament's over in 2 minutes. And what tournament? Fishing trip is over in 2 minutes. And you got this fisherman's hope, man. You do this thing of big one's coming right here.
It's now or never, baby.
Last cast. And you're getting those last couple jigs in. You're like waiting. And then you reel it up and you don't have a fish and your brain goes, next year.
I'm coming back.
I'm coming back. And that one that's down there, I'm going to get him next year. And yet it's that last cast hope. Courtney did it. We got 15, 20 minutes left, and the guide's like, hey, do you want to throw a muskie lure out there for a while and just cast a muskie rod for a while? Courtney had never done that, so she agreed to do it. Courtney's pretty athletic, so he kind of got her into, you kind of got to throw this thing you got to step into it. It's a 3-pound lure.
You got to put your weight into it.
It's a 10-foot long pole. Yeah, you've got to step and zing this thing to get it out there. So it took Courtney about 2 or 3 tries to where she was really getting it. We were fishing by this green buoy. The guide says cast on the left side of that buoy. So about the 3rd or 4th time, she's getting it out there and smacking the water and reeling this thing back in. And the very last cast, the guide's like, all right, going in. Zing! She's reeling it back, and all of a sudden she goes, hey, this one's fighting. And I look up, and I see the line zipping across the water, and she caught a 40-inch northern on the last cast of the trip.
And if I know you, you're just as happy for her.
Oh, every bit.
Yeah.
Every bit. Yeah. Dude, yes, I'm so much. It's just as much fun to watch people catch fish as it is to catch fish.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good. And I asked you before, I go, do you have trophy fish now? Can she say, hey, I'm keeping this one, and I'm going to mount this on the wall. I'm going to take it to a taxidermy, and I'm going to stuff this thing.
Legally, yeah, you could have. And with walleye, there's a very specific range on what you can keep and can't keep and take home for trophies and all this. It's got to be over 24 inches, I think, to go home as a trophy. But for the most part now, Travis, what they do is they have you take pictures and do good measurements and then release the fish, and they recreate it. They make you like a plaster mold of it type thing and then paint it to look like the fish.
That's not the same thing.
Not the same, but to me, the picture's just like having the fish on the wall. To me, I don't know. Is that like having the picture?
That makes sense.
Yeah, the photo, the fish goes on the wall, so you can tell people I caught that.
Yeah, I would say the fish on the wall probably doesn't invoke a memory like a picture does. Because all of a sudden, when you look at a picture, you go back to when you were standing on the boat and all that stuff, and you're able to go, God, I know exactly where I was, what I was doing, what I was thinking. So, yeah, I'm like that with pictures. Sometimes I hang stuff up on the wall, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. But if you have the picture, that's the memory.
And we over and over again had that thing of how pictures don't tell the story. Where you can look at a picture still. Like it's great up there when you're looking at the coastline, and it's every color of green and yellow and orange, and there's some brilliant red trees. You're like, this is gorgeous. This is the most beautiful scene I've ever seen. You take a photo and then you look at it and you go, that's just trees.
It doesn't capture that's not what I saw. There's more than trees there. No, trust me. You just got to go. I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's kind of like mountains. You're like, okay, yeah, but when I was there, I got the whole view. It's more than a mountain.
Exactly. Mary asks, does fishing involve a lot of luck? Mary, that's a good question.
Is it skill or is it luck?
Well, it's a lot. When we go up there, Mary, and we're on that big lake, it's a 1 million acre lake. We get guides to take us to the fish. That's all skill. Those guys have to know where they're going. They got to know where the fish are, the depths that they're at, and then they have to know several spots to check, because if you go to one spot and the fish aren't there, you got to move, and you got to find where they are. So
kind of like a slot machine.
That's a good way to put it, Trav. That's a really good way to put it, actually. Yeah, if you find the right slot machine, you're going to have a lot of luck. But it takes the skill to find the luck.
Courtney had luck or skill? Probably luck at that point, right?
Yeah, she definitely had skill because she outfished everybody the first day too.
That's how they get you. She's like, oh, she's just rolling in the walleye, rolling in the northern.
Nothing hooks you like a last fish. That's the thing.
She's going to be going back to Canada with you each and every year now.
She's probably going back without me. She's probably planning her own trips now.
Planning the ladies' trip? The ladies' trip to Canada.
Ross didn't even catch any fish. Why would I take him with me?
You caught fish, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, we did well. Everybody did well.
Of course, we did the Black and Gold Rush live from Canada on Friday night. Ross was in the cabin doing the Black and Gold Rush. And if you happen to check out the show and watch it live, thank you so much. We had a record number of calls, which when it's a late game, you never know how that's going to turn out, right? And people were fired up because Iowa won the game, beat Rutgers 38-28 in a game that – we're not used to seeing Iowa win, meaning that was fairly high scoring, Ross. And we're like, oh, my God, this I joked on X that who would have thought a Big 12 game broke out in the middle of the Big 10 season. But then I got to thinking about, Tim Lester and the demands of this offense, of what people expect. In a way, it's kind of fun to watch, right? When you put points up on the board, you're like, I'm okay with this. As long as you score more points than the other team, it makes you feel a hell of a lot better.
As long as you win, you can score as many points as you want. That was fun, man. It was that first half shootout was kind of fun, and I was nervous for a while. I was nervous a couple times during that game, but in that first half when they're going back and forth, that was one of my thoughts is, man, this Hawkeye offense can't keep up with this. The defense is going to have to win this game eventually. And it was a weird game where the offense was actually the ones that kind of kept them in the game. And then the defense had to make that big play on that final drive in order to secure it. But, yeah, just an interesting game. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I don't think it's the type of game Kirk Ferentz likes to see.
I would agree with you on
that
that.
Defense give up points like that and have a couple of long drives. Like, there were a couple of times that Rutgers just, especially in the first half, dude, they were like 6 of 8 on third down conversions in that first half. That's hard. When you can't get the team off the field, the defense is out there sucking wind. Glad they were able to make the adjustments at halftime and come back and play the second half they did. But a fun football game.
Yeah, we one of the topics that came up was the defense, and of course, the defense wasn't great by any means in the first half. Much better in the second half, but the reputation of the Iowa defense right now, the Iowa defense is running on reputation, meaning we just assume that the Iowa defense is going to be daunting. It's going to be dominating. It's going to make the stops, and that comes from years of having to carry this Iowa football team to victory many, many times, right? And I think the Iowa defense is good. I don't think it's great by any means, but you hear the announcers, you become conditioned or programmed thinking, well, Phil Parker's just he's not rebuilding, he's just reloading, and to use that cliche, but we become conditioned that we count on the defense so much as Iowa fans that when they don't live up to the standard, you're like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, the defense is not great this year. Let's call a spade a spade. Defensive line looks really good still. Linebackers, Travis, I haven't had any problems with the linebackers, I guess, these first couple of games. There hasn't been any moment where I've thought, oh, boy, that's the gap. The secondary needs some work. The secondary has got to get better. It does seem like there have been times when there's a guy out there that they're able to I don't want to say pick on, but dude, we've got guys getting beat on the edge,
beat deep, getting beat.
Yeah, by Rutgers receivers. We were, by the way, fantastic. They had a couple of dudes that could possibly be Sunday receivers. They got a good team, but that was a Rutgers team that was beat up. It was a Rutgers team that wasn't playing at full strength, and the Hawks still kind of, the game was in doubt for a while.
Now, coming up this Saturday, Indiana got my attention. I don't know if Indiana got your attention.
Dude.
Indiana got my attention. I mean, in a game I did not see coming. I should say that I thought Indiana had a really good chance to get against Illinois. Illinois was the 9th-ranked team in the country. Now you start going with Illinois, overhyped? Are they really not that good? But anytime you beat somebody 8-10, and you roll up
68-10,
68 or 63-10 over Illinois,
cow.
You roll up 579 yards of total offense. Fernando Mendoza was absolutely spectacular. 300 he had 270 some yards passing, 5 TDs. They ran for 312 yards, and Indiana only didn't turn the ball over once, only committed 2 penalties. And the crazy thing is, Ross, you put up that many points, and you're like, you're scoring quick. You're going to score quick. They had 39 minutes and 42 seconds of time of possession. So not only did they score 60-plus points, they held on to the football for 3/4 of the game. This team's for real. At least I think they are.
Mendoza was 21 of 23.
That's pretty efficient.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty darn efficient.
Pretty darn good. 21 of 23, 5 touchdowns, 267 yards through the air. That's got to scare you a little bit as a Hawkeye fan. That we didn't watch that full game on Saturday, but we were watching it and seeing Indiana pile up the points. I did not know it got to 63-10. Holy cow!
And the thing about Curt Cignetti, he doesn't care. He has that FU attitude. It's like he's always trying to prove something. Meaning, if he can run it up, he's going to run it up. Not saying that Iowa's going to give up 60-some points, but you sit there and scratch your head and go, okay, is Iowa ready for a team like Indiana?
Boy. Right now, I think it's safe to say no. right now, again, we do this thing where whatever we saw on Saturday, we think we're going to see next Saturday. Right now, I think it's safe to say no. The team that just threw for 260 yards and 5 touchdowns is going against a team who we just talked about whose secondary is struggling. The secondary just can't seem to find its best foot yet to put forward. Maybe this is the weekend. It is in Iowa City. That's a huge help. I mean,
6.5 point underdog. Can you believe they're 6.5 point underdog at home?
Yeah, dude. After watching that, yeah. I mean, it's so weird because 6.5 points. That's a significant amount of points.
It is at home in Iowa City.
Is that indicative of where Indiana is, of where Iowa is, of both, of what? I don't know, Travis. I think it is just Cignetti's got this team rolling. That chip on the shoulder thing is still working. It won't work forever, but right now it's working.
And the follow-up is, last year we knew what the chip on the shoulder was. You're Indiana. Nobody's going to respect you. And the chip on the shoulder this year is, hey, we were a flash in the pan. They think you're a flash in the pan. They think you can't follow up on this.
They barely put you guys in the top 25. They think
you got to the playoff last year.
They think Illinois is 15 spots better than you. And you go out and beat them 63 to 10. That's a non-con game. You don't beat a top 10 team in the Big Ten that way.
Hell, you don't beat any Big Ten team that way unless you're Purdue.
Right, exactly. Right. Or Old Northwestern.
Yes. That just doesn't happen in the Big Ten. I mean, that's our bias.
Used to happen to Indiana. But remember, Travis, we can't win here. Remember, you better be careful about what you wish for. You should just shut your mouth and be happy with 8 wins. Well, wait, Indiana did it. How did Indiana do it?
Well, they're closer to Ohio, Ross. You don't understand. They're closer to the state of Ohio and the state of Michigan, which gives them an advantage.
That's what people. Yeah, right. They like it always did. It's the people. I will beat this up over and over and over and over. You're the one who taught me this. It's the people. It's not the place. It's not the colors. It's not the name. It's the people. Art Briles goes to Baylor. They're a winner. Curt Cignetti shows up at Indiana. They're a winner. They're not Indiana anymore. They're a winner. Well, how did he do it? Did he come in with bajillions of dollars and bring in a bunch of NIL guys? And did he get new locker rooms and new stadium? And did he do all? No. No, he showed up. He took over what the last guy had done and won. Won a lot. He came out and beat the shit out of a top 10 Big Ten team.
You know, the weird thing was about watching the Illinois-Indiana game is that you sat there and watched Indiana with a sellout. I mean, you're like, look at all the people who are all of a sudden fired up about Indiana football.
Right.
Like, where did that come from? Winning makes, and it's okay to be the place to be seen. They're like, we want to be seen in an Indiana football game right now.
Maybe Indiana is a place with more attitude than we want to give credit for. Bobby Knight, Curt Cignetti, these are middle finger dudes.
Very much so.
They are not. They're a lot more Bo Pelini than Kirk Ferentz. Maybe Indiana, maybe something about that place allows that to thrive, or they embrace it more. I don't know. Or, you know what they embrace, Travis? Winning.
Doesn't everybody embrace winning? Doesn't everybody embrace winning?
Yeah. Jason says the Indiana coach is a great coach and an awesome recruiter, but he's a D-bag. Those things, yeah. I can't disagree with that. I don't know Curt Cignetti. I've only seen the clips of him, and I think he is okay with people thinking he's a D-bag.
Yeah, there's a difference between your opponents thinking you're a D-bag and whether you're really or not a D-bag. I've been watching him a lot on the Big Ten Network, and you're seeing this little sly side to him, Ross, and just hear me out. He does have kind of an edge to him, but how could you not have an edge to you if you're at Indiana when everybody says, why did you take that job? You know, it's a dead-end job, and everybody questions what you do. I would probably have a chip on my shoulder, but I've been watching more of his interviews. I'm like, he's actually kind of a nice guy. And by the way, if he was your D-bag, you would love your D-bag.
Yeah.
You would absolutely love your D-bag. We like the mantra Iowa nice. Totally understand it. Totally appreciate it. I can go for it. But it's okay to have a chip on your shoulder. It's okay to say, oh, okay, doubt me. It's probably how he got to where he is by having that chip on his shoulder and giving him a chance. I mean, we think, what's his name up in Minnesota is a D-bag. All he does is
PJ
he wins. Yeah, PJ Fleck.
New shoes fast.
We put people in a box of the way we expect them or want them to behave. And all Kirk Cignetti is saying, listen, I'm not gonna fall down and say, well, I'm just gonna accept my lot of being
the Indiana
second
coach. All right, well, I got my Big Ten job, so now I cash these checks and then I get fired.
Sean says it best. Iowa nice gets you 7 or 8 wins. D-bag gets you 10 or 11. But, Ross, you bring up the people right before I was watching before we went on the air, and it was the ESPN 30 for 30 Bill McCartney story. And he went to Colorado after spending time at Michigan, and he just talks about the relationship. And he went on a recruiting trip, and he told the kid, he goes, go get lost for a couple hours. And he's like, aren't you here to recruit me? Just go get lost for a couple hours. Comes back in, he's sitting at the table with Mom. You win Mom over. And usually Mom had the big influence. And then Mom said, you're going to Colorado. That's where I want you to go. I actually heard this. I think it was at a sales meeting or I was talking to a college football coach, and they're like, I go, what was really the key to recruiting? Was it the facilities? And I've talked about Bill Bush before, but he's like, always get to know the one or two most important influences in that person's life.
Yeah.
Because if you get to the influencer, that is where the difference is made. Sure, you got to sell everything, but if you get to the person who has the most influence over somebody, usually that's where the recruiting war is won. Because that's where relationships are started. Those are friendships. But it's a 2:30 game in Iowa City this week. Should be an interesting one. And now, if Iowa were to lose 63-10, God forbid. What would the reaction be? Or what will the reaction be?
Well, I mean, first it's going to be, hey, Kirk, thanks for the time to go. Right? We get that when they win. Travis, I don't know. I hope we don't find out, man. I hope we don't, because if they lose 63-10, I think that the conversation is going to be overwhelming of something has to change. Indiana has lapped us.
I would say even if it's like 40-15 or 40-14, something like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Travis, losing the game is going to suck. Losing the game is going to start these conversations. Losing the game is going to cause, hey, Kirk Ferentz, thanks a lot. Time to go. We've loved what you've done for us. We don't like losing to Indiana at home.
Gut reaction right now. Does Iowa win or lose?
Just the gut reaction right now, I don't know how you watch Saturday and say they win. I don't know how you watch Iowa struggle with a wounded Rutgers team. Have that game in doubt in the final 7-8 minutes of the game. And then you watch Indiana go and just destroy a top 10 Big Ten team. I don't know how you watch that and go, Hawks by 1,000,000. Now, when Saturday comes, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have that fire and go, here we go. Hawks are going to win this game. Right now, I look at it and go, oh, shit. Indiana's really good. And we're not. We're not as good as I'd hope the Hawks would be.
And we'll talk about this game more as the week goes along. I don't think Iowa can get into a game like it had on Saturday against Rutgers, against Indiana, and win that game. I mean, meaning a shootout.
No way. Yeah, no way.
I mean,
Mark Gronowski's going to have to play better. You can't miss some of those throws. You can't underthrow guys. Even some of Gronowski's completions on Saturday were underthrown balls. And against Indiana, you're just going to have now. It was his best game, and he's definitely made improving steps. And you're going to have to continue that and play your best game on Saturday. But what I've seen from Mark Gronowski in these first couple weeks, I haven't been blown away. I worry about what happens when pressure starts to get in. It does seem like he gets happy feet, tries to make something out of nothing, which is great. But a quarterback running the ball 15, 20 times a game and getting 50 yards. Bill says, how was Rutgers wounded? They had a lot of guys hurt for the game, Bill.
They did.
Some of their better players were not in the game.
Yes. Missing, I think, one or two offensive linemen starters. They had a receiver that was hurt. So they were not at 100%. And their depth isn't, as deep as some other teams. 515-517-2303. That's the number to call. When we come back, no college football coaches fired over the weekend like we saw last week, but the coaching seat is getting hot at a lot of places around the country, and we'll discuss on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
The end of summer means back-to-school shopping, new clothes, and school supplies. It also means the start of fall with all the incoming rain, rough roads, and eventual snow. For the month of September, we are offering a buy three, get one for $1 on select tires, $10 off all wiper blades, and $25 off installs of new batteries. Tackle the seasons without hurting your pocketbook. Give us a call or schedule online at willisinfinity.com.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Remember to pump it up with unleaded 88. It's cheaper, it's cleaner, and a greener fuel choice. Make it a clear winner at the pump. So pump it up with unleaded 88. Go to iowacorn.org to learn more. Ross Peterson, I took your advice over the weekend. More on Sunday than on Saturday because I was busy watching college football on Saturday. But yesterday sat down and watched both parts of the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix. And I will say this about the Charlie Sheen documentary. You were 100% correct. It is a must watch. Here's the weird thing. I think Charlie Sheen's done every show but ours. I mean, he's been on like every podcast out there and radio show. Tell me if you had this feeling or not. I mean, the dude was an addict. I mean, there's no doubt the dude was an addict. He's one of the few people that live this crazy lifestyle where the whole way through it, you're like, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. And maybe it's his comedic timing. Maybe it's just his charisma. But at no point did I go, even when he was at his worst of his worst, you're like, still kind of like the guy. And they even talked about, when he did the tour with the Tiger Blood, when he was winning and he went on that tour, which nobody liked. They're like, don't go see this. But it showed you his people are attracted to crazy. They're attracted to crazy.
Train wreck, right? You can't turn away from the train wreck. And I don't know what that psychological thing is with us that we can't. Travis, I think that we use this word a lot, but it is a very good word when you're talking about this stuff. He's a vulnerable guy. He's very open. He's willing to say, man, I screwed this thing up. I had the world by the tail and screwed it up. The fascinating thing about him is that he has 3 ex-wives. They all love him. His dad and his brother and his sister were not in the documentary. One of his brothers is in it. Sean Penn is in it, but not Nick Cage, not George Clooney. These guys all grew up together, like on the same block. He's an interesting character, man.
Interesting is a good way to put it.
And I don't think he deserves any attaboys. Like the guy, I do fear. Like I've seen this latest media run. I've seen him on TV. I listened to him on Joe Rogan yesterday. I worry about what's going to happen. I do. 9 years sober. We are putting the gun back in this guy's hand.
Yeah, because he's feeding off of it.
He is.
Right?
It's the same. It is. Lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. It's been that way since he was about a 9-year-old kid. So it's an interesting story. It's super fun to watch. It's crazy to see the life that this guy lived. It's wild to see his perspective on all of those, because now he's sober. And now he's like, what was I thinking? Why was I like the guy that gave him the job at 2.5 Men? He then was challenging to a fist fight.
Chuck Lorre, right?
And now now he says, man, I'm so glad that guy had the grace to welcome me back into his life. When I finally sobered up, I called Chuck and said, dude, I'm sorry. And he said, that's all right, Charlie, you weren't you. That's the dude that deserves a pedestal. That's the one that says, oh, yeah, cool. Okay, glad you're back.
The one guy I couldn't figure out if he likes him or not. You can tell there's a little animosity there is John Cryer, though, right? I mean, you can tell. I mean, Cryer likes him, but there seems to be a little animosity there.
There's something
and rightfully
weird about
so.
The whole Cryer storyline in that is weird. You're right, and I think that part of it is because John Cryer, he says, before we started 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen came to me and said, listen, I'm not going to get back into drugs. I'm not going to be that person I know. And he was like, oh, that's a bad sign. Here's an interesting thing. They never talk about this in the documentary. They almost make it seem like John Cryer and Charlie Sheen met on the set of 2.5 Men, that they'd never known each other. They were in Hot Shots together.
Oh, wow. I forgot about Hot
That's
Shots.
never mentioned at all, of like, oh, yeah, these guys would have known each other 15 years before this thing happened. They literally introduce it to you like, yeah, they didn't know each other. And then they met on the set of 2.5 Men, and they had to be introduced to each other. How was that never brought up of like, wait, you guys were on the same movie together?
Maybe never saw each other after that until they stepped on the set of 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely worth the watch. I mean, it's going to take you about 3 hours because there's 2 parts, and both parts are different. There's the setup and then the close.
He has maybe the greatest friend of all time named Tony. Never did drugs, never had a drink of alcohol in his life.
You are Tony, by the way. You are Tony.
Oh, what do you mean?
That you're everybody. You would be there for somebody at their lowest point, and you wouldn't leave.
I would try to. I'd try to.
I mean, you're just one of those guys that
thanks, man.
where you're Tony.
Thank you, Travis. That's a very nice compliment, man. And he has, Ray says, he's got good friends and good ex-girlfriends. It's his ex-wife coming to his house to make him, she knows he's all strung out. And he's got to eat, and he hasn't eaten in days. And she goes to his house, and he's got prostitutes in the house. And Denise Richards sits there and makes them all a meal.
Mustard and mayo turkey sandwiches.
Whatever it was. Well, yeah, whatever it was like.
She goes, I wasn't making a gourmet meal. It was literally, I just got to get food in this guy's stomach.
Loved him. And then the Corey Feldman, Corey Haim thing at the very, very end. They clear out, they're doing the interview in this diner. They clear out the diner. They tell everybody to leave except for Charlie and the producer. And then they ask him, what's the story with the Corey Haim, Corey Feldman thing? Because Corey Feldman claims that Corey Haim told him that Charlie Sheen had molested him on the set of Lucas. And so they addressed those allegations.
At least they didn't stay away from it. Now,
I'm glad they didn't.
It's whether you believe him or not. And I think, was it Courtney? And because you asked me, and I said, I believed him. I mean, he was...
Katie Charter.
Mark
Charter's wife, Katie, called me, and she'd watched it, and she's like, and she falls with you. She saw it, and she watched it, and she said, I absolutely believe Corey or Charlie Sheen. I don't believe he did any of that. I don't know. I didn't get enough away from it to make a decision on that. I didn't know Charlie Sheen had AIDS.
He has HIV. Not full-blown AIDS. He has HIV, and now it's undetectable.
Okay. I didn't know. So he has HIV.
HIV.
Yeah, it was... There's a lot of weird in it. I don't want to ruin all of it and spoil all of it. There's a lot of weird. And there is there's kind of some weird stuff at the end. The crack, let's just say this. The crack inhibited his decision-making abilities.
Which I think that would do to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do to a lot of people. I will agree with, and I think Sean Penn said it, and Charlie joked about it when he said he had tiger blood. I do think he had a genetic makeup that, because most people would be dead in his case, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at John Belushi and these people who have overdosed, just listening to the amount of drugs that he did, he's got a special genetic makeup to be like, whew, that's building up a tolerance. So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, building up a tolerance. You may be noticing that I'm drinking out of the Rush Radio mug today. And enjoyed a nice cup of coffee out of my Rush Radio mug. We've got new gear up on the merch site. Finally out, the Roster Baiter shirt. The Roster Baiter shirt is now out and live on the merch shop. So if you want a Roster Baiter t-shirt, hoodie, long sleeve t-shirt, you can get it by going to therushladio.com, click on the merch tab, and right there, Roster Baiter, right in your face. Roster Baiter, right in your face.
Right in your face.
And then when you wear it out in public, people go, that's crude. No, I'm a roster baiter. You got to understand.
It's not crude. Yeah.
It's not crude at all.
It's funny. It's a funny name.
And our buddy Mick.
Kurt Ferguson. It's a funny name.
And our buddy Mick, I think, bought like three. He bought a T-shirt, a long sleeve T-shirt, a hoodie, and he got 5 stickers. I don't know. So I don't know what he's going to do with 5 stickers, but he's probably going to go hand out the roster baiter stickers. Hey, put this on your car.
He was in the Puffer Billy Parade this weekend and had the giant rubber duck on top of Flubber, and then had the Rush. He even has a tire cover for the Rush. Mick is going to join us on Wednesday, right?
Tuesday or Wednesday, I said would be the ideal days, and he's got the Jeep show coming up. And the least we can do is invite Mick to come on the show.
Love it.
I mean, he's probably spent $400 or $500 in Rush gear already, just on our merch shop. Not to mention the flag and the tire cover that he's had made on his own. So it's like, come on in, talk about the Jeep show. So, but yeah, so if you want your roster baiter, you can even get a roster baiter mug. Or if you really want to go deep, get a pillow. You can get a roster baiter pillow.
Recommend it.
Just put that on the bed at night and say, honey, look what we got. We got a roster baiter pillow. You can sleep with the roster baiter. No college football coaches fired over the weekend, but there are some coaches on a serious hot seat. And you wonder how much longer athletic directors, fan bases, and universities are going to put up with the losing. It's part of the profession. At the end of the day, it's about winning. It's about, whether or not you've hit a plateau or whether you're on a decline. And Ross, I think one of the biggest ones right now is Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State lost to Tulsa at home over the weekend. First time Tulsa's won in Stillwater since the 1950s. The 1950s. And for how long Mike Gundy has been there, you just you start seeing, well, is this the time? And Dr. Rob and I talked about this yesterday. I want to ask you a question when it comes to Oklahoma State in the Big 12. Because one would think, boy, it's in Oklahoma. You've got a recruiting base. You're close to Texas. Is Oklahoma State losing Oklahoma out of this league a reason for their decline?
Wow.
Did Oklahoma push Oklahoma State to a different level, but they leave, and now you're like, why do I want to go to Stillwater? We hear because when Nebraska left, it hurt the league, the old Big 12, but they were able to rebound. It took them a while. When Colorado left, when Missouri left, I don't think it hurt the league at all, except for just minus a team. But we see Oklahoma leave. Does that hurt Oklahoma State when you don't have that rivalry? Or am I out on a limb there?
No, you're not at all, Trav. The way you said it the first time, I think, did Oklahoma leave Oklahoma State in a worse position than they were in? There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Again, the Big 12 I don't want to knock on the Big 12. They have done a great job of making chicken salad out of the chicken shit they were handed. A great job. They've added some wonderful teams. They really built that focus on basketball that allowed the football league to now be dynamic also. You don't have that top end like Ohio State, Oregon, the BAM. You don't have that LSU brand yet. But I don't think that the Big 12 has definitely been hurt, and they've done a really good job of dealing with that hurt. But if you focus on the Oklahoma part of it and just the state of Oklahoma part of it, the answer to that question is yes. Is Oklahoma State in a worse position now after Oklahoma left? Yes. Now, the second question, though, does that...
They've always ridden the coattails of Oklahoma.
Yeah. You don't have rather gone to Oklahoma than Oklahoma State. If you're a great football player, that was always a pick.
Yes. And now... I don't know how to dissect it, but I'm just like, there's something missing for Oklahoma State there.
Yeah, you're right.
And that rivalry, the bedlam, all played a part into it. Now you're like, okay. And what we're seeing is Iowa State, Kansas, who destroyed West Virginia over the weekend. These teams are going, we're moving on. We don't need somebody. We're not riding anybody's coattails. Dude, we're going to take it on our own.
Go back 5 years. and compare Oklahoma State and Iowa State. And then compare that today.
Yes.
Night and day difference in those comparisons. Because 5 to 10 years ago, you looked at that and said, man, Oklahoma State, they're going to be the cream of the crop in this Big 12 football league. And you shake out this new Big 12, Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, they're a top 25 program, perennial powerhouse in that space.
Innovative offense, putting points on the board, just,
out the door. Matt Campbell, you get a couple new guys, new blood shows up, and all of a sudden you're not competing.
Another hot seat where I don't know how long he lasts is Luke Fickell. We've been talking about Luke Fickell since the beginning of the college football season, that he was going to be on the hot seat. They were down at halftime to Maryland. The boos started coming out at Camp Randall. Fire Fickell chants came from the student section. And Ross, the worst thing happened to Luke Fickell. The worst thing possible could happen. Your athletic director gives you the voice of support.
The dreaded vote of confidence.
The dreaded vote of confidence.
Time's ticking.
It really, really is.
They lost 27-10 at home to Maryland. They play at Michigan. Dude, have you looked at their next four?
Oh, it's brutal.
Holy cow.
It is brutal.
Fire him now.
I think where he gets fired is when Iowa beats him at Camp Randall.
Yeah.
That, to me, the Iowa game will be the last game for Luke Fickell at Wisconsin.
Here's the deal. They still have 5 ranked teams on their schedule. The only unranked teams they play are at home with Iowa, at home with Washington, and at Minnesota. Other than that, they already played Bama. They got Michigan next week. They host Ohio State after Iowa. They play at Oregon. They play at Indiana, and they host Illinois to win.
And to think about the hot seat, let's look at Mike Gundy. Is Mike Gundy a bad coach? The answer is no. He's a pretty darn good coach, and he's proven that over time. But I think after 20-some years, you plateau, guys stop listening, people aren't buying in. Is Luke Fickell a bad coach? No, I think he's a bad fit.
Yeah,
I think he's a bad fit for Wisconsin. And I thought he was a bad fit from the minute they hired him. You're like, that's just a weird hire. And I know he had success at Cincinnati. He's proven he can win, but sometimes you put yourself in a position where, hey, I'm going to go take the payday. I'm going to go from the American Athletic Conference to the Big Ten. I'm improving myself. I'm a Big Ten guy. I was a defensive coordinator at Ohio State. But then you come in, and it was basically a thumb. And this is where you got to respect history a little bit. And it was like a thumb in the eye to Barry Alvarez. There's still a style of play. He came in getting away from power offense, trying to throw the football over the place, never got the right guys. I mean, Luke Fickell, when he gets fired at Wisconsin, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. He'll end up a head coach again somewhere, and he may be successful. That, to me, is an example of just bad fit, just really bad fit from the minute it happened.
I'm with you, Trav. I think he's probably a guy that ends up back in that mid-major range. You're right. He hasn't coached himself out of a job. He'll land somewhere. Some team will be really excited about having Luke Fickell as their coach, and I'm with you. I think he'll do great if he finds that right spot again. Dude, that spells doom. At Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, and Oregon. That's your next 4. You lose at home to Iowa, you're going to be staring down the barrel of 6 straight losses, maybe more. I mean, if you don't beat Washington at home, there's a chance that you don't win a game the rest of the year. Could you imagine a 2-win Wisconsin football team? A 2-win Wisconsin team that goes winless in the Big Ten.
It's a strong possibility.
It is. Right now it is.
As Iowa fans, you go, oh, I hate to see it. I really do. I like it when Wisconsin's good. I like it when it's a tough matchup.
Yeah. Trav, this is what's going through my head right now. Man, I don't know which side of the fence I want to land on here. Dude, you look at Florida's schedule. You look at Wisconsin's schedule. It's just loaded with ranked teams the entire way through, up and down.
It's funny you bring up Florida because Billy Napier's next. I mean, he's been on the hot seat for the last couple weeks. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. It's going to come to the point where, like, you don't have a choice.
And just like Fickle, the schedule only gets worse. Their schedule's packed with top 10 teams. They have, I mean, it's insane.
They got Texas next, which might be their best shot at a win because they have to go to Texas A&M.
So what was going through my head there, Trav, is, you know, as a fan, I'm always wanting the Hawkeyes to play a better schedule. I always want Ohio. I mean, I do. I want to see the Hawkeyes play the best teams they can possibly play. Do I?
I think what you want is balance. You want balance.
I want the Hawks to win. More than anything, I want the Hawks to win. I would hate to go through a season where we were in that situation where Wisconsin is in right now. Where you're looking at the schedule going, oh, my God. Might be a 2-win fall.
Yeah, because if you don't get a win early and you lose 2 like Florida has or 3, and then it starts to mount. It's a feeling of, hey, the world's against us. How are we going to climb out of this hole?
Hey, you're looking at that schedule going, oh, shit. This gets worse and worse and worse. Lady Sideburns wants to know, what does Iowa do if they lose to Wisconsin? Lady, here's my response to that. Nothing. Get on the bus and come home.
Look towards next week.
Yep. That there will be there will be a little bit of a fire inside the fan base, right? And again, that will probably play off what happens this week too. Hawks beat Indiana and lose to Wisconsin. I don't think a lot of fans are going to be too crazy. Lose to Indiana and lose to Wisconsin? That might change that conversation.
And it depends, if you lose to Indiana, how bad do you lose to Indiana?
Yeah.
I mean, if you lose to Indiana by 2, I think, which is the 11th ranked team in the country right now, I think you go, okay, this team can play with people.
Mike hits it on the head. You just want enough of a challenge where people don't call your team the fake ID of college football.
And that's what I was talking about, balance in the schedule. You're like, I want 2 or 3 really, really good teams, and the rest I just want to coast. That way we can say, well, we beat the good teams, and we beat the bad teams.
We won 9 wins and played really hard in those other 3. That's what you want. I don't care that it's 9 against Middle Tennessee State.
And I think the reason, a Gundy or a Fickle, even a Napier hasn't been fired yet, which was surprising why Virginia Tech and UCLA did it, is because those kids right now, Ross, can go into they can go into the transfer portal right now and get there. But UCLA has only played, 4 games? I think Virginia Tech 2, meaning those guys can redshirt now. This week is big. They can go, I've played in my 4 games. I can still get a redshirt season. So it'll be interesting to see at UCLA or Virginia Tech this week how many players go, I'm out. Because I got to preserve a year of eligibility.
Wow.
Which is one of those rules you go, does that need to be relooked at? Meaning,
what do you mean?
The red shirt, it used to be if you played 1 second.
The 4-game thing.
The 4-game thing.
I mean,
I
like
it.
NCAA eligibility thing is going to have a reevaluation. It really is. It's going to have is there still an academic component to it? Is there a number of years a guy can play? Do you put an age cap on it like they do in high school? I don't know what the right answer is. I really don't, because I don't want it to be a thing where it's like, well, once you're 25, you can't play. Well, that's not fair for Mormons. It's not fair for guys that do the service that go into the military. I don't know what the right answer is, but there's going to have the eligibility requirements are going to have to be readdressed.
And the final one on my hot seat this week is, it's crazy to think this, but they are now 1-3 on the season. And this is the danger of saying before the year that you think this is the best team you've ever had. And that's what Dabo Swinney did. Dabo Swinney said, this is like his best team at Clemson. Well, they've lost 3 now. They're 1-3. And people are growing tired. when you win national championships and you dominate, the expectation is national championships. Meaning, if Matt Campbell gets Iowa State to the college football playoff this year, the expectation for Iowa State fans, and rightfully so, is going to be, okay, we want to be in the college football playoff every year. We expect to at least be in that conversation. Not once every, meaning you may only get there once every 3-4 years, but you better be at least in the conversation each and every year, because that's what elevation does. Elevation raises expectations. Ross, the crazy thing about Dabo Swinney, you know what his buyout is?
I have no idea.
$60 million.
What?
$60 million.
What?
Crazy.
100% buyout?
I don't even know if that's 100%. He's at $60 million right now. $60 million.
Somebody put in the chat, I don't know if it's true or not, but Gundy's is $15 million.
And that's doable.
Yeah.
I mean,
but yeah, it's doable.
Well, and that's what's going to have to change. You know, we talk about the big salaries. I don't care if somebody makes $8, $9, $10 million. I don't. But it's these guaranteed buyouts that really hamstring. Say, hey, if you want this money, fine. But we're not going to. If you get fired,
we got to back up on the whole. I'm okay with people making money too. But we can't have it both ways. Here's what I'm hearing from universities. We have a $15 million buyout for a coach that makes $8 million a year, and we can't pay the bills. We need more money. We need more of your money. You have to give us more money. Do you want us to compete, or do you want us to suck? If you want us to suck, don't give us any more money, because all of it's spent. We got billions of dollars that go to the coaches' salaries, billions of dollars that go to the administration. But you guys, we need you to pay more money. Do you want to win or not? That's what I don't mind people making money if it's on the back of a just system. If you're actually providing some sort of product or service to the community, yeah, make all the money you can. What pisses me off is when we've got all these guys making all this money and the system keeps telling us how broke they are. The system keeps coming with their hand out. We need more. We need more. NIL, NIL, NIL. You have to pay the players. You have to do it. What do I get if I pay the players? Because he gets a bonus. He gets more millions of dollars. And all you do is ask me for more money. That's where I don't mind people making money, Travis. I love it. You should all be able to do it. We should all go out and make a ton of money and pay our bills and live a happy, healthy life. I hope that's the case for everybody. This pisses me off. This dichotomy back and forth from the NCAA of, man, we can't this is bullshit. We can't afford this $20 million expenditure. How much are you paying a guy to open a weight room? You're paying a football coach. He's not curing cancer. He's driving a revenue machine for you that you have mismanaged to the point of a $20 million deficit. I'm a DMAC dropout, and I knew this was coming. I said for 10 years, save the money. Bad things are coming. They're going to change the system because it was a rigged system and it's an illegal system. And now we stand here and we go, oh, man, Mike Gundy, he's going to get a $15 million buyout because he can't even win football games. But Oklahoma State's broke. Iowa State needs your money. The Swarm needs your cash. Do you want to be good or not? It's your fault. If the team isn't good, it's your fault. It's not the coach who brings in Deacon Hill to be the starting quarterback. It's not his fault. It's your fault. You didn't pay enough money. So cut a check, loser.
And the sad thing is there's always somebody willing to cut the check. It only changes until people say, I'm not going to cut the check. I mean, that's the only way you can really drive change in the system. But there's always somebody who's like, if I just do this, I'm helping the program out.
Yeah.
And until somebody says, I'm not writing the check anymore, it's not going to change. 515-517-2303. That was a fast hour. We'll keep it going along. We'll take a break, come back with hour number 2 on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app. allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
You've got enough on your plate, so when it's time to reset, grab a Fresca. Bold citrus, zero sugar, zero caffeine. Just clean, crisp refreshment that never goes out of style, whether it's post-work, post-gym, or just a break from the noise. Fresca's got your back. Pick up a Fresca at your local retailer today.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
School is back and summer vacation is over. With a year of school activities and drop-offs ahead, your tires are going to be working as hard as their students. Staying on top of regular maintenance like tire rotate, balance, and alignment is key to increasing the life and performance of your tires. And right now, we are offering a back-to-school special $199.95 tire rotate, balance, and alignment to help you stay rolling. So give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the RushRadio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Monday. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com and the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you for bringing us into your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Start leaving your comments in the comment section. And, of course, you can follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. What do you got there, buddy?
Oh, my headphones in 2 pieces.
How did that happen?
I took it out of my ear, and it thing's broke in half.
That's weird.
So going to be getting a phone call from me today, sure.
I mean, I've had mine like 2 or 3 years, and I treat them like gold. You just beat the shit out of them?
I literally took it out of my ear, and it snapped in half. And it's not even like it's like the plastic literally broke. It's not a seam. It's split in half.
So is it like, does it snap together, or
it doesn't
is
snap? Nope, and it's not even working now.
Wow.
Son of a...
Now, I think you and I are in agreement that these are like the best headphones I've ever
had in my life. And they just snapped in my hand. Probably my Herculean strength.
That's true.
Probably to blame is my incredible, the dexterity on these fingers, the grip strength. I just snap them.
Damn. Because you got such a workout over the weekend of casting a 10-foot pole, and you're like, yeah, my fingers are
strong now,
casting, reeling in.
It's all right.
Of course, we do want to remind you that coming up on Friday, it's the Iowa Lottery Weekly Woo-Hoo, and your chance to win a $90 prize pack from the Iowa Lottery. Includes scratch match and win tickets, Jurassic World, and Iowa Blackout scratch tickets. And don't forget, coming up, it's going to be your last chance to enter any non-winning Jurassic World scratch or Instaplay tickets into the Iowa Lottery Second Chance promotion, where you can enter to win $10,000 or a trip to Hawaii to compete for $1 million. Just check out the IowaLottery.com for details. And if you're not a VIP, we highly encourage you to become a VIP because we think all of you are VIPs, and it's free at the Iowa Lottery. Sign up at IowaLottery.com/VIP. You know, I just got a question for you, and I need you to help me out.
Fire away.
And I'm not bringing attention to myself. I promise that. It's going to seem like it. Today's my birthday, right?
Oh, happy birthday, buddy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so today's my birthday.
Wow, I didn't know. You know, this is my old anniversary.
Is it? I didn't. Well,
I didn't know that.
We're not celebrating that today. No, I did not know that I was born on the day you got married for the first time. Weird. Though I do have a question when it comes to age. I'm 55 today. Am I no longer middle-aged?
Oh.
Now, I could get the AARP card when I was 50, but I still consider myself middle-aged. Am I moving out of middle age at age 55?
The
look on your face says you really want to say yes, but you're trying to be nice.
But my real answer is I think that stuff changes. Now, and maybe that's just maybe that's your own personal perspective that moves through time. Because when I was a kid, 55, I wouldn't have said, yeah, you know what? I think 55 is still middle-aged. I don't consider it old. Because what's next? Is after middle-aged, you're old?
Well, you reach the geriatric stage.
Yeah, that to me is like 70.
I'm not a geriatric yet. I don't feel middle-aged. Charlie says not middle-aged. There's got to be something in between.
You're elderly now.
Oh. Well, I'm a grandpa now.
Mike says the Google machine told him 40 to 70 is middle age. I think that's right. That feels right. 40 to 70 should be middle aged.
How can that be when the average lifespan is like 72.3 years?
Is it really?
I believe so. Of a male, it's like 72 or 73 years.
Travis, I think you can still say you're middle-aged. 55?
Okay.
55. Lady Seinberg says, I feel like you two are always learning what day each other's birthdays are every year. Yep.
100%.
Today? I didn't even know.
100%. And they just become years after a while. So, and you realize how fast they go.
Dude, did you see Chris's? Here you go, Trav. This is going to be right up your alley. You will absolutely embrace the elderly thing with this. Take a safe driving course. You'll save money on your insurance now.
And he puts, I'm elderly. I don't want to take a safe driving course. I'm a safe driver.
You don't want to save money on your insurance?
You know, I think my car insurance is pretty good. I got my escrow account the other day, and how about this? My property taxes actually went down.
Really?
Oh, yeah. My property taxes went down. Ross, my insurance went up so much that it negated the property tax decrease. And I actually they're like, you either got to, put more money in your escrow or your payment's going up. I'm like, I didn't have any. I had one claim on my house. I've had one claim in like 30-some years of owning a house, and I got drilled. I mean, do you see that now with the people you're selling houses to when they go get the insurance? It's like, well, that affected the payment.
It does. It certainly does affect the payment. I mean, you can't, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, you're going to have some things that go into there. The PMI is the biggest one, right? They have to protect
unless you put 20% down.
Yeah, right. Which a lot of first-time home buyers cannot do that.
That's true.
And that's what we're talking about. With first-time home buyers, you're usually going to be doing all of that stuff. Pay your tax. So a lot of people pay their taxes in their mortgage payment also, and that money goes into escrow. I choose to just cut a check twice a year because I like that monthly payment being lower.
The key is you have to save and set aside money for said property
to make
taxes.
sure that you got the money there, because otherwise, then that's really bad.
Then you're like, hey, we're selling your house tomorrow in auction. What do you mean?
You don't. That's one of the weird things that nobody ever tells you is you don't ever actually own your home. It's kind of a misnomer. We're kind of lie to each other when we say you're going to own this home. No, you're borrowing it from the government, and if they want, they take it back.
What I need to do to save on car insurance is get rid of a lot of cars.
Yeah, that would help you a lot.
That would help me
fleet
tremendously.
Jolie, home insurance has skyrocketed. I've had no claims, went up $500 a year.
Because you didn't have any claims, but you're paying for everybody else's claims. When there's natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes, you're paying for everybody else's claims.
I know I'm talking to a lot of people here and speaking to their livelihood. Insurance is a freaking scam.
Which is
Health
surprising.
insurance,
Surprising that it hasn't been. It's ripe for disruption. You know, Uber was a disruptor to taxis. Airbnb was a disruptor to hotels. There's not been a disruptor to insurance. You could say, well, Progressive and this stuff where you can just go buy online. It's still pretty pricey. There hasn't been like one of those true disruptors where you're like, you know, this is a pretty good deal.
I mean, everybody right now, everybody has a bitch about their insurance. It's too costly. There's not actually any coverage there. As soon as you try to make a claim, they fight you on it. And then when they do have to pay you, then you have to pay them a lot more money. People that work for insurance companies make a really good living. And it goes back to that coaches thing. Is your attitude, oh, well, good for them. Everybody should make money. Or is your attitude, wait, that's my money and you're not giving me the service that you've told me you're supposed to give me. I'm paying the bill and then you don't do your end of the bargain. And I will tell everybody this. I am unfortunately without health insurance. Damn, has life been different. Damn. When you call somebody and say, hey, I don't have insurance, I thought the response was going to be get lost. The response is, sweet. We don't have to deal with them? You mean we get to care for you and then you're going to pay the bill and we don't have to go through this rigmarole of calling these people and sweet, we'll make you a deal.
And they will deal.
We'll charge you less than we would have if you had the insurance. Well, what's wrong with this system? I mean, again, if you work for an insurance company, good for you. Good for you. I hope you're making a great living.
But your prices are out of control.
Your prices are out of control, and your service sucks. And by the way, this all goes back to compulsory insurance. As soon as the government stepped in and said you have to buy this stuff, the product went down, the service went down, and the price went up. It's economics 101. You demand the thing to be purchased, the service will go down and the price will go up. They got you.
The thing I only use like home insurance now for is like a disaster. When I had the flood, I had no choice, right? But it's like, okay, if I got to put a new roof on my house, I may just pay cash for it because why do a claim?
Right. That's exactly you look at it now and you go, wait a minute, would I have just been better off just paying a contractor than call? Because now I'm going to have to pay per month for the rest of the time I have this house to a group that fought me about paying this.
But yeah, so now I'm stuck. Do I fill the escrow up or do I just let the payment go up? I think I'm going to fill the escrow up.
And Scott is right. Scott says, Ross, you need health insurance ASAP. I know. Here's part of the problem, Scott. I can't get it till November. There's an open enrollment period. I can't just go and buy it. I can't do that. I've tried. And everybody you talk to goes, dude, you missed your window. What? What other product has a window that I can buy it? Name one. Name a product that has a window. I can buy a snowblower in June.
You can buy a lawnmower in December.
In December, right. But I can't buy health insurance when I need it. It's a scam.
And you're not elderly yet. I'm elderly.
You're elderly.
I can go to the Golden Corral at 4:30 for the senior citizen discount.
Yeah.
I'm going to move to Florida and start playing pickleball. That's what I'm going to do.
I don't have health insurance, but I have life insurance. So if things go bad, it's okay.
I only have 5 years left of my term life insurance.
Really?
Yeah, because I got a term policy.
You better make some decisions quick.
I know. I need to die within the next 4 years. Exactly. I need to die within the next 4 years to make sure my wife's taken care of after I'm gone. That's what I got to do.
Yeah.
Talked a lot about Iowa in the first hour. If you missed any part of the first hour, it's going to be up on our podcast version of the show right when the show is over, or you can go back and rewatch it on YouTube. Iowa State was off this past weekend, Ross, out of sight, out of mind, meaning that when the new Associated Press poll came out, they dropped a couple spots. Not that big of a deal. I know some people probably get a little hurt. Well, we didn't lose. Why did we drop? Well, nobody got to see you. And other teams won and moved up. That's what happens. But they're going to be home this weekend to play Arizona, an undefeated team. So you've got two undefeated teams playing. They have one like opponent, and that's Kansas State. So that's what we know.
And I don't think you could. I mean, the Kansas State, again, I don't know what to take away from that. I don't want to look at those two games and try to put too much on this. This should be a really fun game. I mean, what is the line on it, Trav? Do you know?
I think Iowa State by 3.5. I think it is.
2.5, 3 would seem like that should be about right for this. This should be a really fun game. One of those, Iowa State's had a couple of these already, man. Early in the season, it's nice to have several, because I saw you put on the rundown, like, we're going to find out more about Iowa this weekend against Indiana. And Iowa has had a couple of games like that. Iowa State, Rutgers. Iowa State's had 3 now.
True.
3 of those games of like, all right, how good are we? And the answer is we're pretty good. We're pretty darn good. We can play with these guys. We can win this. We can win these games. And so, got to be a lot of confidence going through Ames. They're coming. They have to travel here, which is huge. Give me the Cyclones on this. Got a week to rest and get ready.
I think the Big 12 season is going to be fun to watch. I mean, Texas Tech went out to Utah and looked really good. BYU, I believe, is still unbeaten. Kansas looked really good in its victory over West Virginia. I think this schedule for Iowa State sets up nicely. I think a lot of people thought, well, if they can get through these first couple games, they're kind of in the driver's seat. I'm not going to put them in the driver's seat. They're riding in the front seat. But to me, this Big 12 season is you've got some pretty good teams in there that's going to be pretty competitive.
Let me ask you then. Okay, so if I wouldn't have any problem with you saying Iowa State's in the driver's seat of the Big 12.
I think Texas Tech may have moved over there because it won at Utah this past weekend.
I'll go with that. Right now, 6 undefeated teams in the Big 12: BYU, TCU, UCF. Not Central Florida. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They are not Central Florida. They are UCF.
I don't get that. Dude. I don't get that. If you're the University of Central Florida, well, then you're Central Florida. What school is like that? There was another one that was like that, and I think it was
Ohio
Marquette.
State tries to do that thing with the Ohio State. Shut up.
Yeah, when you refer to Ohio State, please refer to them as the Ohio State.
Shut up.
Why?
Yeah, you are doing your horns down thing. It's the Big Ten version of horns down.
When you start getting butthurt about, if they called them Florida Central, I get it, right? That you're like, we're not Florida Central, we're Central Florida. But if you say, hey, you need to call us UCF over Central Florida, what are we doing here? That's when people stop.
Yeah,
you're like, you're picking the wrong fight there.
Ross in the chat has a good question. UNI doesn't mind Northern Iowa? No. We think if Coach Tepsis came on Thursday, he's like, guys, hey, I'd really prefer you not call us Northern Iowa. We are UNI. Anyway.
Let's ask him that. See, if we just call it, or let's shorten it, Coach, if we call you Northern Iowa, you okay with that? What if we call you Northern? Are you okay with that?
And Trav, I did screw up. I said 6 undefeated teams in the Big 12. There's actually 7 because I didn't. Arizona is a long ways down there because they don't have a conference game yet.
Yeah.
So they were down a ways on the Big 12 standings. So you got Iowa State, Texas Tech, Houston, BYU, TCU, and UCF, and Arizona. All of those teams are either 3-0 or 4-0.
I mean, to have 7 unbeaten teams still, pretty impressive. So we'll be talking more about the Iowa State-Arizona game as the week goes along as well. A screw-up in the SEC over the weekend. And this one kind of, it bothers me because we forget that people's jobs are on the line with wins and losses. They are. They're on the line with wins and losses. And Hugh Freeze came into this season needing to win at Auburn. And he's off to a decent start. They lost by, a touchdown at Oklahoma. But the SEC comes out and says, hey, our officiating crew screwed up. On a touchdown play by Oklahoma, they didn't throw the flag, and they should have. And Hugh Freeze is like, thanks for the apology, but that does me no good. Hugh Freeze says, I was trying to call a timeout. They were trying to explain to the officials on the field as it was going on. Nobody would listen to him. Oklahoma scores a touchdown, and it is the hideout play. So they basically used a player to go over the sideline like they were going to do a substitution. Kid never left. And they left him wide open and scored a touchdown. And that's illegal. You can't do the decoy like that. You can't fake like you're going to do a substitution. Oklahoma's like, we didn't do that. That's not what we did. It's not what we did at all.
He just broke the huddle quickly.
Yeah, he was just
excited
acting
to get out there. He knew that this was his play.
I mean, this equate this to, and we got this call on the Black and Gold Rush Friday night. Because one caller said, "Hey, I thought Rutgers was faking injuries," and I never got that feeling. But that would be kind of essentially what this is. Except you're not stopping the clock. You're just, is he going for a substitution? Same but different, but
does suck for Hugh Freeze because you're right. I mean, this is, and we've talked a lot about upcoming schedules and stuff. Auburn's is one. They have 4 more ranked teams, or they had a stretch of 4 straight ranked teams. I think Oklahoma was the first of those 4. And to lose this one in that fashion.
Do you like when, and we've seen the Big 12 do it before. I think we've seen the Big 10 do it before. When officials screw up, they come out and say, yeah, there was an error.
Sure.
Does that make one feel better, or does it almost piss you off even more?
No, it doesn't make you feel better. It probably pisses you off more, but I think the right attitude should be, at least they know they made the mistake. I mean, it would be way worse if they came out and they were like, nope, got that one right. Home run out of us. You guys suck. Iowa State fans, I would love to hear their perspective on this because they've been through it a hell of a lot more than anybody else that I know. I mean, Iowa State has more apology letters from the NCAA and Big 12 than I could count or remember. I mean, it seems like once a year they're getting one of those things, right? Ross even said Iowa State probably has an extra apology letter laying around they could send to Hugh if they needed.
It's just a form letter. They just keep sending it out.
Right.
Hey, where's that one in the file? Just resend this one and change the date.
Change the names. Yeah. Dear blank, we apologize for our recent mistakes in your game versus blank. So I guess I do like it when they come out. If you make me, I would say I'd rather that they do that than not do it. I would rather that they come out and say, man, we look back at this and we made a mistake and we're going to try not to do this again. And we're going to be paying attention to this and we're sorry. That's better than, no, we're perfect. No, we don't make mistakes. Circle the wagons, boys.
But this is where I get conflicted to where, if a coach were to talk about this or criticize the play, he gets fined, right? I mean, you can't criticize. You're not able to call out, hey, I think that play was wrong. They got it wrong, or you get fined. And it's a slippery slope when you start letting people criticize officials.
Yes, that's what I was just getting ready to get at. Like, we live in such a weird world right now anyway, where officials get tons of hate, tons and tons and tons of hate. If every game and a coach got to come out and go, we got screwed because of the officials, some gambler would take that to heart and do something stupid.
Sean says ref should pay consequence, lose a game, and most likely they do. There was an error in the Kansas-Missouri game. I believe the officiating crew had to sit out a next game, which that's real money to these guys. And usually you find out whether they missed a game or not. And I think that's fair. If you screw up.
Yeah, there should be a consequence. I like that idea.
Oh, it's just if you're on that other side of it, when wins literally mean you keep a job or not.
And he's got tough ones coming up. They were at Oklahoma. Now they're at Texas A&M. They host Georgia. They host Missouri. So, yeah, that was the first of 4 straight games against currently ranked teams. The next 2 are top 10 teams. That game mattered.
Very much so.
Yep, that would have made them 4-0 on the season. Probably would have had Auburn ranked.
And you wonder how that affects a team, because it can have it can motivate you, but it can be deflating too. Because how do you go in and say, guys, you won that football game, but you didn't win the football game?
I don't know, Trav. That maybe that's a good question for Coach Stepsis on Thursday. What do you do in those situations? Do you go in and go, hey, boys, nuts and bolts, we got screwed? Or I think a coach goes in and says, this is why we can't let it be in the officials' hands. We've got to win these games. If we beat the other team, they can't take it away from us. And this mistake by the officiating crew cost us the game, but we also didn't have our head on. We weren't paying attention. We got to be aware of this. When a guy breaks the huddle and starts breaking, keep an eye on him. We can't, I don't know. There's got to be teaching moments that come out of it rather than, well, boys, we got screwed. Nothing we can do about that. All right, on to the next one.
And the truth is, you don't know if it cost you the game or not. Sure, they scored on that play, but there was a lot of football to play left too. They may have scored later on, so there's no way to definitively say. You just look at the final score and say that cost us. Well, you don't know what was going to happen. Going back because you brought up Central Florida. I'm sorry, UCF.
Yeah,
because I don't want to get yelled at by Scott Frost. And the hot seat, Bill Belichick has to be on the hot seat, right? This experiment is weird.
Trav, I'm going to be real honest with you. I have no idea how he's doing. I have not even. They
got blown out by Central Florida.
Carolina. Did they really?
Yes.
By UCF?
By UCF.
34-9. They are 2-2 on the season. His wins are against Charlotte and Richmond.
Losses TCU and UCF.
And bad. Lost to TCU 48-14, gets blown out by UCF. Clemson is coming up next, and guess what? Clemson's going to have a freaking chip on their shoulder after this weekend. Huh. Interesting. Does Bill Belichick make it through the season?
He does, but then retires at the end. Says, maybe this thing isn't for me.
Yeah.
Eli did a little Google search for us on the branding section of UNI website. Their preferred branding is UNI. Stop calling them Northern Iowa. We are UNI. Our legacy is in these 3 simple letters.
Perfect, Eli. That's
Thank
good.
you for the correction. We'll make the adjustment.
Tyler says, but our jerseys say Northern Iowa.
And they lost over the weekend. To Dixie State, or better known now as Utah Tech. I know why they changed it, but Dixie State sounds so much better than Utah Tech, doesn't it?
Yeah, Dixie State doesn't sound like it's in Utah.
I know, which is cool.
I never knew that they grew cotton in the Utah Valley.
I hear Utah Tech and I think DeVry.
Yeah.
I think, vocational school. Nothing wrong with vocational school. It's just I don't think Division I football. 515-517-2303. We'll take a break, come back for the last half hour of the show. It's the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
School is back and summer vacation is over. With a year of school activities and drop-offs ahead, your tires will be working as hard as the students. Performing regular maintenance like tire rotate, balance, and alignment is key to prolonging the life and performance of your tires. And right now, we're offering a back-to-school special $199.95 tire rotate, balance, and alignment to keep you rolling. To schedule an appointment, give us a call or schedule online at willisvolvocars.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the rushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. I wanted to take this opportunity to personally invite you to our Willis New Car Show on September 16th. This is your opportunity to visit us in our home for free food, drink, and entertainment. Please visit us on our socials for more details or stop in and speak to any of our associates. We hope to see you there.
Rush, strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show. Happy Monday, everybody.
She's really excited to show you her bag that she got over the weekend, Travis.
Oh,
got
wow.
her name on it.
Got some bling.
It's a makeup bag. She's super excited. And
She
it's
shouldn't be
Spirit
wearing
Week.
makeup.
She's got some. It's Spirit Week. You just shut up over there, okay? Relax. It's my little girl. She gets too.
Next thing you're going to be putting like eyelashes on her and.
She's a little girl. Let her do her thing.
The joys. Well, I had my granddaughter here all weekend, so that was nice.
Yeah.
I got to love up on little Sutton Button. So, but she left yesterday, and Anjanette was all lost. You know, she's like. Yeah, she's like, oh, because Owen went out to San Diego this weekend. He's gone. Mary's gone. Greta's gone.
And all
Sutton's
she has
gone.
is you.
All
That
she has
sucks.
is me. And, you know, and I said, and of course I made it about me, which was the big screw up, right? I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Why do you, and then she goes, why do you got to make it about you? I'm like, well, you're sitting here saying you're sad because everybody's gone. And I'm like, this is a new time in our life. We're entering empty nesting. And I just kind of got the idea that I don't think she likes empty nesting very much.
Probably.
At all. She goes, you mean you don't miss Greta yet? I said, I miss her, but this is just part of moving on. She's enjoying Savannah. I think it's that she sees Greta having a lot of fun in Savannah, and she's like, she doesn't miss us. She doesn't miss us like I thought she was going to. Ross, you rope-a-doped me on Saturday. You did. You rope-a-doped me. It came in from left field, and I was like, wow, where did that one come from? I get this text from Ross on Saturday night.
Oh, the Nebraska thing.
The Nebraska thing. I mean, I was sitting there, and it like bothered me all weekend. I was like, where is this coming from?
I was just being a dick.
You were being a total dick. I was like, and I'm at this wedding, and I'm like, what's going on here? I'm getting bombarded. And finally, I'm like, are you drunk?
I sent Travis a text that said, Dylan Raiola is the best college quarterback I've seen since Taylor Martinez.
And I'm like, here's where I was confused. I was, and I get what you're doing here,
just having fun,
and rightfully so. But then, and I'm sitting there going, of all games, why this one? Because Raiola actually had a really good game.
Yeah,
you know,
he
I'm
did
like,
have a good game. No, it was more of the. And listen, I'm not rooting against. I want to be clear. I do like Matt Rule. I'm not rooting against Nebraska at all. The funny to me is that thing that every year you get this thing of like, man, this dude.
That's fair.
This dude, watch out. This guy's going to change. And Nebraska's going to have a good year. The schedule's going to shake out for them. But this was a big game for this.
Huge game.
Was the big game of their season, really.
Yeah, all eyes were on him. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah. But he become, and this is where I was going through my brain. Yeah, because this was my brain. So I'm like, so yesterday I'm like, why did he send this text? I go, Dylan Raiola over the weekend became the first quarterback to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against Michigan since like 2021. And then I'm like, okay, he's 4th in the nation in completion percentage. He's 9th in the nation in completions per game. He's 16th in pass efficiency, 14th in TD passes, and 22nd in passing yards per game. I'm like, I go, is Ross's only, and I was racking my, it goes, Ross's only metric wins and losses. At the end of the day, winning does matter.
That's what matters. That's what matters. I mean, that's what's going to matter at the end of the year. When they have a 10-win season and they're still going to a mediocre bowl game, and people are like, what the hell? Well, you didn't win the one that mattered.
And that one mattered.
That one did matter. And so, yeah, I mean, I was more having fun with the fact that Nebraska lost, that it's another single-score game that they've lost. I mean, it just... Dude, in the last 15 years, it's been unbelievable to watch what's happened with Nebraska and in close football games.
To be fair, the only reason they were in that game was Dylan Raiola. He was sacked 7 times. Can you imagine if Iowa or Iowa State would put up offense like that and your quarterback sacked 7 times? And if you watch the game, Michigan manhandled them physically. Nebraska had more time of possession, but it was it took a Hail Mary at the end of half and a desperation 2-minute drive at the end to make it a close game. Physically, Michigan was superior to Nebraska, especially on the offensive and defensive fronts. I mean, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, from what we saw, dominated those lines. And that was. I'm more having fun at this idea that every year, Nebraska fans and out of Nebraska, you hear, you just wait. You just wait. Okay. I'm still waiting. And they might win 10 games this year, and it's still going to be, you're going to be, if you win 10 games, you're going to be the fake ID of college football because you didn't win the game that you had to win at home.
Yeah, because they're not going to beat Penn State. That's not going to happen.
And even if you do, like you can make up for this, but I just am this thing that comes out of Nebraska every year. Taylor Martinez, you won't believe how good this guy is. Adrian Martinez, this guy's gonna be the greatest quarterback you've ever seen. We got the McCaffrey kid. We got Christian McCaffrey's little brother. Chubba Purdy. He didn't even go to Iowa State. He came here. Wow.
Adrian Martinez had the hype of Dylan Raiola. I don't know if the others had quite the hype, but yeah, it was one of those things that it like came in from left field. I'm like, boom, I got sucker punched. I'm like, damn, now I got to sit here and defend Dylan Raiola because it was just like of all the games, I'm like, well, I don't know if I would have picked this game to say that.
It was more of just a shitty comment on, man, another Nebraska quarterback that doesn't win the big game. Another and Matt Rule falls falling into that same pattern of can't win these close games. And
when you threw out the Logan Smothers, that's when I went, okay, now your buddies are goading you. Your buddies are goading you.
They weren't even a part of it. It was just
they weren't
me.
even a part of
I
it.
was just. They didn't even know I was doing it. I was sitting on the couch laughing as I was texting you, Corey. And this was the very first thing you said to me as well. Corey says, Ross, you know you'd trade Gronowski for Dillon any day of the week. Oh, I would absolutely. I'd love to have a quarterback put up those numbers. I'd love that. And I do think Iowa fans are a little bit guilty of this also. I mean, the media hype was, we got Mark Gronowski. This guy's got like 160 college wins.
He's the winningest college football coach or quarterback ever.
And I think it would be totally fair for Nebraska fans to go, this guy? This is the guy that was going to be the program saver? This is the guy that you gave millions of dollars to come in and sling the football around? This is the guy that you gave millions of dollars to for 1 year. There's no development. There's no, oh, man, wait till this guy. No, this is it.
Well, and this is what I did text you after I got up after the 10 count and had the press conference of why Ross just knocked me out. And I said, and I was paying you a compliment and paying me a compliment at the same time because I needed to make myself feel better in the press conference. And I said, this is why we don't talk recruiting a lot.
Yeah.
Is because Arch Manning is another good example. Arch Manning, Dylan Raiola is putting up better numbers than Arch Manning. And when you put these kids on the top of the mountain before they even play or even see what they have around them, basketball, one guy can make a difference. In football, one guy may be able to keep you in a football game, but it takes 11 to win the damn thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the surrounding cast, I mean, Patrick Mahomes was a good quarterback at Texas Tech, but he's not the Patrick Mahomes we got when he got 11 guys around him with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Great point.
So, yeah, you just rope-a-doping me. You're like, I'm going to bring out Travis Husker fan to watch this. I'm not a fan. I just try to look through things objectively.
I was fishing. I was fishing. It was a week of fishing.
They're like, they kicked me off the boat, and I'm done fishing. Watch this. I'm casting musky bait right now.
Right at Travis.
And that fatso Baldy's going to take the bait.
Not fatso. Patrick brings up a good point here about the Gronowski thing. Because remember, for years, Brian Ferentz told us, listen, this offense is so complicated, it takes years to be able to manage it. You can't come in here and run this complex pro-style Iowa offense. You think that you can just come in here and hand the ball off? Well, the last couple of years, that's what's happened. We've brought in quarterbacks. All right, this next guy, he's the guy. Because you know why he's the guy? Because we paid him a bunch of money. And I don't want to knock. Gronowski played good on Saturday. Played really good. It was the best game he's had. And, man, if you continue those improvements, that's going to be really good. But if you're asking, would I rather have Dylan Raiola or Mark Gronowski? Yeah, sure. Having the guy that throws for 300 yards against a good team, that's what I'd want.
Well, and what we're seeing is where I don't like Raiola, and I shouldn't say don't like him, there's not much mobility there. He can run, but he is a passer. He is a passer.
Yeah. And Gronowski is a guy that's not afraid to keep that. That's what I've wanted. What I've wanted is a quarterback like Mark Gronowski, a guy that can continue to keep plays alive, can stay on his feet, can get down the field when he needs to.
You know, I'll take a guy like Mateen at Oklahoma. I'll take a guy like Mendoza at Indiana.
Dude, and Arch did have, I just pulled it up because I didn't realize what.
They played Sam Houston State.
Yeah.
And the headline was, Manning gets his swagger back. I'm like, well, hold on for a second. They play Florida this weekend. I'll let you know if he got his swagger back or not.
You've got Florida and then Oklahoma. It's at Florida and then Oklahoma at home. And then they've got a couple of weeks with at Kentucky, at Mississippi State. They host Vanderbilt. Vandy's decent this year. They're a top 25 team. At Georgia towards the end of the year, and they play Texas A&M. So we're going to find out how good that team is.
But, you know, like any team, and it doesn't matter, it all falls on the quarterback's shoulders. It really, really does. So even though Dylan Raiola had a really good game, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, you don't win, it falls on your shoulders. You got sacked 7 times.
Did you also see the stat, Travis, that was going around about the one loss or the one possession losses? Going back through all the way to Bo Pelini, what was their record in 1-score games?
Let me guess. I'm going to guess like 1-25.
It was pretty bad. I'd have to go back and pull it up. It was pretty bad. But of the 4 coaches that have been there since Pelini, Matt Rule has the worst record in 1-score games. He's like 4-11 or something like that.
Wow. You know the difference between good and great?
Oh, buddy, it's that
right there. It's that right there.
Yeah.
And you can say that for Iowa State. You can say that for Iowa. Any team out there. The difference between, you look at Iowa's schedule. If we look at the 8, if they get to 8 or 9 wins, you go, okay, how could they have gotten to 10? Well, right there.
Yeah, those
right
little
there.
things.
Little things. We saw a little dust up on in the NFL last night. You see Travis Kelce and Reed get into it?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Looked like a little bad. I mean, to the point where Andy Reid gave him a little shoulder shove. And
did not see this.
Yeah, there was a little shoulder shove there. It's the second week in a row these two have been arguing on the sidelines. And I think there's enough mutual respect there. I know this sounds corny, and I think those two know each other, that they probably have a relationship to where they can do this. But the fact that Andy Reid gave him a little shoulder shove, you're like, oh, that's different. That's odd. Optics.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Oh yeah, Andy's getting after him there. He's upset about something.
So his effort wasn't there in the second quarter. Say, we need effort. And he did go on to say, Travis is a competitor. He knows when to turn it on, when he can turn it off. I needed effort right there.
Interesting. I won't make too much of it. They've kind of and several people point out, they've done this before. They've kind of had some dust-ups. They're both very competitive guys that Andy Reid obviously is expecting a lot from Travis Kelce. But let's be honest, Travis Kelce's playing the last few holes here. He's at the end of his career.
He's on the back 9.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I would imagine things like this are the types of things that, you go home and you go, I don't know.
I'm just waiting for all the Kelce Reid arguments come out with Taylor Swift's Bad Blood song playing.
Because now we got bad blood. And Andy Reid's just shoulder checking him. Did Andy just jeopardize his invitation to the big wedding?
Maybe.
Oh, that's the real story. That's the real story.
And when is the wedding? Do we know when the wedding's going to be?
Hopefully it's private. Hopefully it's one of those deals kind of like the engagement, like it happens, and then a month later they're like, oh, yeah, by the way.
We got married.
Travis and Taylor got married privately in the Maldives.
It's not like, who's the guy who owns Amazon?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, his wedding that cost, what, $30-40 million bucks? And everybody knew about it.
It's nothing to him. It's a spacesuit for Katy Perry. That's nothing.
Spacesuit for Katy Perry. Mac Jones led the 49ers to another win. And we talked about this with Brock Purdy being hurt. So Mac Jones 2-0 as the 49ers starter. Now, it was a 1-point victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Wasn't a dominant win. But I did bring up the fact if Brock Purdy misses, let's say, 4 games and Mac Jones wins all 4, do you make the quarterback change when Brock Purdy is healthy again?
Listen, Mac Jones was not great.
No.
He was 27 of 41. Had 284, a touchdown, and an interception. That's not like world beater, you can't lose your job type of numbers from Mac Jones. But they're winning, and that's the most important thing, Trav. Yeah. At this point, I don't think that Brock Purdy, I think when he comes back, he's in good shape. And I look at that line from Mac Jones as that indication. It's a win over the Cardinals. It's a nice win. The Cardinals were 2-0 going into it. So it's a nice win, but I don't think he played well enough that you're going to look at it and go, man, we can't do this without him. And Brock Purdy's played better than that.
And what does Brock Purdy have that you have to play the guy?
money.
You're paying a guy a lot of money.
Right. That giant bag of money that's showing up, and the owner's going to go, hey, I'm paying that dude to be my quarterback.
And if you don't think that happens, you may think a guy on your team is better than another guy. But if you're paying the guy money, he has a much longer leash because you've got a lot invested in him. And they're going to go, he's making a lot of money.
At this point, Trav, they might be hoping Mac Jones plays well so they can trade him. I think that
Purdy gets hurt, you're like, hey, you're a good serviceable backup
yes.
is what you are.
Yeah. I don't think that, fake Bob Vanderplots is weighing in. Purdy got his bag already and a baby at home. He doesn't care.
I think he cares.
He still wants to win. He's still a competitor, all of those things. Yeah, absolutely. But
you do wonder, though,
have fun.
Mentally, and I'm talking subconsciously, and I'm not just picking on Brock Purdy here, but we talked about the Charlie Sheen thing. When all of a sudden you got a boatload of money,
your perspective
changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you lay down at night, you're not as hungry.
Yeah. You're like, I got nothing to prove. And we've seen it with a lot of guys in the National Football League because, unfortunately, you're paid on what you did. Not, and with the hope of future performance that matches that. As his career comes to an end, we're talking Aaron Rodgers here. This one kind of surprised me yesterday. Pittsburgh won at New England, okay? New England, not a world beater by any means. But this one kind of surprised me, Ross. And that Aaron Rodgers won for the first time as a visitor at Foxborough.
Yeah. Dude, New England's been really good for a long time.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I think that's what that says more than anything because Aaron Rodgers played on great teams. I mean, with rare exception, he's played on really good playoff teams, and this is the first time he's won at New England. That's impressive for New England.
Now, when you get more perspective around it, and I think this one even shocked me more than I'm like, God, he won for the first time in Foxborough. It was only the third time he's played there as a visiting team.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wow. He played there once with the Packers, once with the Jets. So it wasn't like he had a lot of opportunities. And we're talking, what, a 20-year career almost? You only went to Foxborough twice? That was your third time? But the Steelers got the win yesterday over the Pats. Bears got a win yesterday. All sorts of Cowboys still suck. So there you go. There you go.
Cowboys still suck. Don't worry, everybody. If you're wondering where the Cowboys are, still sucking.
The biggest surprise in sports yesterday may have been the Indiana Fever beating the Las Vegas Aces in the first round of the semifinals of the WNBA playoffs. How weird would this be, Ross, if Indiana went on to win the title without Caitlin Clark and they never won again?
That would be something.
It would be.
That'd be something. Good for them. Good for the
100%.
And I'm happy that they've been able to take this momentum and do this with it. Caitlin is the needle, and she's not out there, and she won't be out there, and so my interest level it's just hard for me to gin up much interest for it.
And I watched a little bit of the game yesterday. I didn't watch. I maybe watched 5 minutes of the game. I had it on, and I'm like, again, I'm there to watch. I found myself watching the sideline and how Caitlin Clark would react more than I did watching the game. I mean, that's just the
well,
draw.
And the other girls there too. The Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham's right there with her. So it seems like every picture I've seen of Caitlin in the last 2 weeks has been shoulder to shoulder with Sophie Cunningham, cheering on their team and being right there and
being good teammates. But that's just got to be gut wrenching as a competitor not to be able to participate.
But aren't you? Oh boy, Trav. I don't know. I can't put myself in behind those eyes. I would hope that you are super excited for your team. That you're a competitor first, and you want your team to win. You want your teammates to win. So you're super excited for them.
I would agree with you, But I also think there, as a competitor, and it's human nature to be a little jealous, to go, man, I could be playing right now. I mean, it was a smart thing to shut her down. Totally understand why they did it. But I think as a competitor, and maybe jealousy is not the right word, just like you're missing, as much as envious.
Yeah.
Like you're enjoying this ride.
I'll have to defer to you on this. Johnny says a lot of people are saying the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark.
I mean, the fact that they've made the semifinals with 5 players that went out for the entire season, hard to say they're not. It's really hard to say they're not. And then you go win at Las Vegas, a team that's been the hottest in the WNBA going down the stretch. Just put it this way: they're probably more dialed in. You know what you can and can't do, and you're playing to your strengths.
Trav, in the final minutes here, I want to ask you one NFL question again, okay? Because this is one that's been popping up a lot lately. It happened again over the weekend. The Eagles have obviously had a lot of success with that tush push play, right?
Yeah.
The quarterback sneak where everybody comes in and just tries to mow. It becomes a rugby scrum. Yeah, they've mastered it. A lot of talk about outlawing
it. This keeps coming up. It came up last year during the meetings. I don't care. I look at it and go, well, there's a tush push on every single play, it seems like. You come in after a rush, and you're pushing your running back as far forward as they can go. I'll use the old adage, stop it. If you don't like it, then just get a defense that's good enough to stop it. I don't get all wrapped up into the tush push and go, oh, some people say it's a dangerous play.
I think that what the conversation has become is just that they, like Mike Pereira has this great video that I'm watching right now from Awful Announcing, where he says you got to watch this in real time. It doesn't look like much, but when you look at it in slow motion, there's all sorts of false starts on this, and you do see it. I mean, the offensive line is jumping that snap, and it doesn't get called because it's just too hard. It all happens so quickly for the officials. They can't slow it down and find it.
Is this where it's a reviewable play? Well, because they don't review false starts. I don't know. More teams are doing it in college. More teams are doing it in the pros. Nobody does it as well as the Eagles. They have absolutely perfected it.
Yeah. Yep. Got it down for sure.
All right, buddy. Fun show today.
Oh, fun. Fast, man. Thank you so much, buddy.
No, thank you. We're back tomorrow at 6 a.m., so make an appointment to be with us. If you missed any part of the show, going to be up on our podcast channels, and the replay will also be on YouTube. We will see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. for the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
It's Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you, taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the RushRadio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
It's September in Iowa, and that means the Cyhawk game. And while you do have to choose between two teams,
Go Hawks, by the way. You don't have to choose between good service and competitive pricing. For the month of September, we have one of our best service packages for $299.99. This includes oil change, tire rotation, brake fluid exchange, and additives. Get your Nissan tailgate ready with Willis Nissan. Schedule online or visit us online at willisnissan.com.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience Links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.